Well, welcome guys to a nice little video of a opening series. Now, because I don't get a lot of requests for anything that deals with Photon for an FPS game or any other type of game, I really don't do videos for it because I haven't had a need for it. But in this little series and thing, I'm going to explain a few things for Photon. Now, this is just an introduction into what Photon actually is. It is a free slash paid um, plugin thing, which I'll bring it up here, and we will see it on the good old asset store and all that good stuff. And I'll begin this, and we will go into, let's see, what did they put that in? Let's just type it in here. PH Photon, and we will get Photon chat and other type of stuff. Now they do got a Photon voice and a lot of other things. So, but I wanted to show you the free version of Photon. And you can use this for a lot of different things. You can only have 20 people at a time on it, okay? Unless you buy the $100 version, which ups you to 100 people. But, you know, with bandwidth and other stuff, you know, there's the limitations on the network and things. So, but it's concurrent users. So you know, if you want to spend $100 after you find it and upgrade it to 100 people, you know, that's up to you. You know, it's a cloud base, and it's not like Unity's new networking system that's Unet. I have no videos on that one yet, just because I've not had requests for it. But that's what this video is about. Okay, because if you setbacks and things like that, I am not so able to do certain videos like I want for you guys, which I'm working on. So we are going to discuss a brief introduction into it, because this is just an opening for a Patreon campaign to see if you guys even want it, and I'll dedicate more time to it specifically to help you guys in content. And you know, it'll help with other content as well, so you'll get something out of it regardless. Now, this is a connect and join random script, and you see they did a virtual update and auto connect and things. So we have Photon connection settings, where you can put a version control and probably some scene stuff, but I don't integrate my stuff like this. I actually have, this is their version of integration. Connect to master, we can join a random room, which before you do that, you have to call this function. Photon join random, not join random room, on join lobby. You have to join a lobby before. I'm pretty sure on Photon's network you have to join a lobby first. Where is the lobby connection? Okay, on start, auto join lobby is false. We join randomly always. No need to join a lobby to get a list of rooms. Yeah, that is true. If you automatically, how Photon works in its hierarchy is you join a room, okay? You join a lobby first, and then you will join a room randomly, or if you do a list of rooms that fit your criteria, you can do that. I mean, there's numerous other ways, because all it is basically an array of or a list of rooms. That's all you're getting. But they put random rooms. We will probably look into making our own room list and everything else, so we can join rooms that we want, because you can create rooms, and then you have your overloads for how many people per room you can have, and vice versa. If auto if fail to connect to Photon, disconnect cause, bam. And they have on join room. This is a callback for if you join a room. This will actually work every single time. So you have your regular mono behaviors, and then you have Photon version of them as well. So it adds on to the actual mono behavior by itself. That's one reason why they put Photon dot mono behavior, because I bet you its base class is a mono behavior, and they extend it. So that's kind of the ordeal on that. Now you can do the intermediate GUI, the older version, which is done all straight from code. I really don't want to go over the older method. I know it still exists and everything else, but a lot of people will want the newer stuff, and that's one reason why I will probably do it in the newer version of when I do my tutorial. I'll do it from the newer UI system, the system that you're used to on the regular base. And I have absolutely no code up whatsoever. So let's go look at that coding. So after I've explained a little bit of it and everything else, we are actually going to look at code now. Okay. Now, for Photon and everything else, like I said, there's mono behaviors for it, which is on join room. This is called every single time you join a room. And what they're doing is checking to make sure there is the master. If it's false, if we're not the master when we join the room, we return. Because they're doing this kind of structure. You instantiate a physics box, that's what they're calling it. And Photon, because it's networked and everything else, we have to use the resources folder. Everything that we instantiate into the world, networked wise, has to be in the instantiation folder. I do not use network instantiate for a lot of things. I will use object pooling. We have a great script for object pooling, and we shouldn't not use it because it's actually quite nice. So like the instantiate of our thing, we would do resource.loading. So we push a string and then a vector, which is our position, and a quaternion. Now this last is a integer, okay, and null, because they have separated the instantiation into their own version of it to help, and it passes group information, who owns it, and a lot of other things, which the one we will probably use the most if we do network instantiate is Photon network.instantiate. Okay, this is their base version of it, which just takes a string, which is our prefab, a vector, which is our regular vector, and a quaternion, which, as a quaternion right now is dot identity, and then an integer, which I always put like 0, and that's it. And whatever this is right here, we instantiate. Now let me embiggen this so you can see this. We instantiate. Okay, but that's wrong. And like that. Okay, like a regular thing. And that's how you instantiate something over the network. Now it'll automatically say, hey, this is ours, blah 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 stuff. But that's how you can. Now there is functions to swap the master and everything else. We will go over those in the tutorial if we actually get a need, and some Patreons are there and everything, and they want to do it. I'm not sitting there telling you have to or not, because that's completely up to you. but it just helps me as a content creator. And it's you could do whatever you want. If you want to buy a drink for the poor guy that's doing the video talking and you're learning from, buy him a drink. I would, but that's just me. But you don't have to. Now, this is a basic class until you reach the Photon network stuff, the Photon view. So it's pretty familiar. And then you have this in Awake, and we're getting this, which, if you know me, we will cut this out. We will have it public and just go, hey, guess what? Bam. You can do it. You can get rid of that call. Doesn't really necessarily have to be there. And sorry about that. We are doing a fixed update. Look how is master, which is mine. Mine is photon network dot is mine equals false. That means if this is not our photon view, the stuff that we instantiated, it returns. Every fixed update, it's like return, return, return. And this keeps it from updating these functions, which, is in turn, that's what it does. I mean, it's nothing too major. And then also on the tutorial, I will show you guys how to network your animations and stuff and jump and all that. Now, you'll see this photon.rpc. This is called a remote procedure call. Okay. Now, a remote procedure call is written not like this all the time and everything, but we'll go over it because you have to push a string and then all the values that you have in here. Like if you have overloads like hey, day, you have to write it. We're not just doing void calls now because we want it to be network information. So this is a one-time call that we're going to do a jump, which is why we are not streaming it or anything like that. We tell it to, hey, Photon, tell everybody but me. That's what other means. Everybody but me. There's a few other ones. There's Photon, and this is a target. You can do all. You can buff the server so it'll do everybody, including me, immediately. New players get the RPC as well until the client leaves. Yeah, that would kind of stink. And then you can buff just the master for it, or others buff. Now they put others just because, hey, they want everybody else to know, but we don't have to do something kind of dumb inside our own game. Just jump. So it's kind of a way to not get an RPC for yourself, to cut the network noise. That's all. And you'll see this little dash pun.rpc. That's the thing that we're calling. See how this string is in here? This string right here and this. So instead of doing it like you're used to of do jump and then it's like this, we're doing a networked version of it, which I will go into full detail on how to do it because we're going to do a lot of them if I do this tutorial and everything. Now, this animator, yeah, we're going to do an animator, and because we're doing this remotely and making sure everybody does this, that's how you can do a jump. It's not hard. It doesn't take rocket scientists. It just takes a little bit of work and a lot of patience because you're going to break things. Some things aren't going to work. Maybe you can't connect to the server for some reason. There's a variety of reasons, and we will go over a lot of it because and we've just got a regular mono behavior stuff, which is fine, and then we're updating is run, which is another just regular mono behavior stuff, and we're doing this as well, just regular mono behavior stuff. Now, the really cool thing, and this thing, and not this, or this, is And it's not this script either. Where is that script? Okay. Where is that script? I will find that sucker. Because this is going to give us exactly what we need for a certain thing. Okay. Oh, okay. Is this gonna do what we want? Probably not. No, this is kind of terribly written. I don't even like that. I'm not gonna show that. That's not written all that great. I mean, it's written, but it's not what we want. You know, I don't want to show something because these are written by Photon themselves, not by me. So there is a lot of stuff in here that I would not do versus what we would do. And trying to find, yeah. Here's the one I probably want. Yeah, here's the one. Okay, now for the networking, okay, and a lot of people have this issue when they first start with the network stuff, is they get this little jitter. If they finally figure out how to instantiate their character and stuff, you have like little jitters and they're shaking and it looks really weird. And it's because the Photon thing is trying to update very, very quickly. They're just hammering information into that transform. So it looks jittery and stuff like that. Well, how we can get rid of that is doing a Photon serializable view. Now, this is telling us that we will serialize the last position and our current position. Okay. Now, the reason why we do this in a stream is because we constantly want to update something. Okay. And we have a vector 3, which I don't know why they wrote it this way. This is kind of goofy. And garbage collecting too. We have a vector 3 and a quaternion, and it equals our position and our rotation. Well, in our position and our rotation, we want to stream the serialized properties, okay? So this is just sending constantly our position and rotation, which is what we want for, the entire game, because you need that information like all the time. Well, since is writing, that would be us. We're writing to the network. And then we have our else. Well, this is receiving the information. Okay. So we have our vector 3, which in C# we can't just leave this blank. So we have to have it equal something right off the bat. And the quaternion, which is our rotation. Why are they doing... I don't even like this. What it should be is something completely different. But anyway, no, we're not doing this. I don't like this. Where's the other one I had? It was a lot better. It was very easier to explain as well. And I just can't start it up and that stuff because it will... Where is it? I don't like it. I don't like how they got that written up. It's not very clear for you guys, and it's not fair because just the way it is. But RPC core, win, loss. Okay, they've changed a few things. Go physics flash, click, Change owner. Custom authentication, no. I want that. Move camera. No. That's not very helpful. Huh. Wonder. Yeah, this is terribly written. Not very. No. This isn't what I want either. Huh. Oh, let's do it this way. I know this one has it the way that I want. Layered anime, launcher game, camera work, player. See, I don't get why they want the people to be kind of like this. This doesn't make sense for them to be like that. But this does explain how you do bulls and stuff in the animator. That would do you guys some good. But I'm still looking for a really good one. And I can't pause in this one. But that's kind of terrible. Well, it's written, but it's not written in a way that would particularly be easy to explain for you guys. And they've got tons of examples in here. Okay, it's not just like one or a ton. I mean, like, it's okay. Oh, here's an easy one. Network characters. Now, this is what I was talking about. And this is the actual one I had in my other video. Okay, and we have our current position and current rotation, which they gave them a default value, but you don't have to. And then we have this update is mine. If it's not mine, which we will change around to is mine equals false, because we only want to do this when this transform is not us. So this means not us, not mine equals false. We'll do this interpolation of alert, and that's what it pretty much is linearly interpolates between two vectors. So we're taking the transform and taking the variable up here, and it's going to be based on time.tell at the time, and then they have it by 5, which sometimes, most of the time, I put a variable so you can adjust it, but it's kind of like the speed of it, okay? How fast it will go versus how slow it is, and you see this stream is writing. We're writing the transform information all the time. But why are they getting the component every single time? That's kind of redundant. They should just push an integer. Yeah, that doesn't make sense right there. That is so much better. You can so optimize that a lot better. Now, you see, a lot of people, when they first start off, they'll go, well, we've got our rotation, we're receiving it, so why don't we just put this here, okay? My transform equals the received information, blah, 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 because we're receiving the information, so we're telling the transform that it's equal to the stream version of it, which, granted, yes, it will work, but you still get all the edgy stuff, and it doesn't look great and everything, and that's the reason why it's that way, is because it's trying to update every single frame like constantly just spamming, just spamming as much as it possibly can. And that's not what we want because it looks bad, right? So instead of that, we do our current position, okay? And what this current position does is it gives us a target for our lerp because we're lerping to that position at a constant rate, okay? So at a constant rate, we're lerping to that. So you could do some vector math in here, like, hey, if distance is less than 0.5, like a half a unit, then don't even bother lerping, just don't even do anything, okay? And just leave it alone. So with that kind of fixed on it for the distance, and if it's like within that certain amount of distance, you can make your player not even jitter or anything. It would just be like he was sitting in a regular game and he would look good. And that would fix your jittering a lot. Now, it wouldn't fix everything that you could have in a problematic game, but that would be fixed right there because your lerp is just a mono like version of code. It would be like a mono behavior code like you do everything else. You're just moving based on distance. Hey, if it's less than this, blah. So it'd be really easy to work with. But we have to use the stream because we need that constant flow of information like all the time. And that's another thing is, hey, do you want, you can also put animations in here and a lot of other things. And that is pretty much the thing that I wanted to talk about because, that's the type of information that I got asked today on how to fix this wiggly woggly stuff. That is my answer to it because there's no other way I can think of to approach it because that's how I did it in my game. Mine's a little bit more complex than a simple lerp, but because if you do it this way and you don't do it based on distance calculations, he will lerp across the map. Okay, and I'm not even gonna lie. And that's the reason why you put an extra bool in there. Hey, if this is and have an initial period like, hey, did I wake up right now? Okay, if I woke up and before I even spawn into the world, I go just put me in the right position and then turn on my lerping. Okay, and that would work. But that's all stuff that I would throw in the tutorial on the Patreon campaign and stuff because, I look at it this way. You can buy me a pop when I'm sitting here, doing a lot of code because it's a lot of work to explain all of it. Like this concept and some of the other effects, it literally took me a half hour to explain. And it was kind of fast. And you're going to be like, whoa, that's a lot of information. Well, it is. And it takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of time to make a really, really good tutorial. And that would be your investment. And, later on, you'll get streams too. So, but I don't have a lot of people that ask for this kind of stuff, so it's kind of like, and I don't get a lot of views for my channel either, so it's kind of like, why should I do it? Well, just, I guess I'm asking for, give me the reason, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I need a reason to do it in the first place. Because as a content creator, my content is based on what I get asked in questions. If I get asked about the UI a lot, well, guess what? the UI is exactly what I would start doing content about. If it was um, how to shoot a weapon across the network and stuff like that, that'll be the next thing that you guys will ask me about, and that's fine. But you'd be surprised on how little questions I get asked. So as for it, I'm starting it just to see what my responses is and things like that, and how to approach it. If I do it, if not, if there is even the viewers for it, then there is. If there's not, then I probably won't, this will be the only video, maybe. But there may be a ton of. And two, I would probably do it for absolutely nothing just to do it. But my main computer is been stolen, so I'm in recovery for that. And the whole software thing, and editing images, it takes Photoshop to do that. But let me know on comments, like, subscribe. You can check out Patreon, see if there's any content in there. Because as a Patreon, you get every script in the video given to you completely written as you see it. If it's written on the video, you'll get it exactly the same way. It will be a download, and any pictures and stuff like that made on it, if I own it and I can give it, it's actually given to you as well. And you guys can use them in your personal projects. So there is a lot of benefits to it. You just can't sell it as your own work. That's the only thing. But you don't even have to name me in your project if you use the code and publish some type of game. So keep that in mind. So this is the video, and thank you for your time and your patience. And I'm sorry for the other video, it had no sound, and that was the software's fault. Okay, there was nothing on there. It just, for some reason, the audio just quit. That is one reason why I am about to invest money into a different recording software, because I have like drop issues with it and things. So it's kind of like I can bring out better content with a little bit more spent on the software. So, and two, I have plans to do imaging stuff with Photoshop. I have plans to do modeling tutorials, to how you guys can make guns and baking and advice. I have a lot of stuff that I can push out to you guys. So that's the plan. And I did a channel update, and I also put it on Patreon what the plans for summer is going to be like, and it will be ongoing. I plan on also streaming some games too, just for fun. That way we can get examples and a lot of other content like ideas. Because it would be nothing to go, hey, well, let's say some game we were playing, I don't want to say a name, this guy just slaps a gun on the other guy's like forehead. I kind of want to see how to make a hit, because right now in our FPS kit that I've got going, we have multi-state weapons, so you can select between auto, full auto, or single shot, or a grenade launcher. It is perfectly working right now. I had one of my friends test it out. It works just fine. I showed how to do inputs and stuff, and yeah, there's a lot of content for a shooter, and a lot more that I could publish if I had actually a better computer. So, but keep that in mind, and take care, guys. And thanks for your help, support, and comments, and subscribes, and shares, and all that stuff that you guys all do. Thank you very much, and remember, everything that I do is possible because of you. And have a nice day.